So that's that. Also, you want to hear a preview of my Morphin Monday this week?
Okay.
I don't know if the people at home are going to be able to hear it, but
Hold on.
let's see if they can. It's all this dilly-daddling around. Hold on.
Nope.
This was from E3, so this is...
So we are back at E3 2017, and it comes full circle. 2 years ago, I met you and your brother. This year, I ran into you. We've been hanging out a bit, playing some games. First of all, welcome, Peter.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Peter?
Who
Peter?
who is that?
On Monday, everybody will find out. I'm pretty sure everybody knows now, but we do have a Morphin Monday, which has been lacking here because we've been super busy with E3, and then we got Anime Expo coming up.
Yeah.
D23 coming up. So
So excited.
this week, though, we're going to be talking about Green with Evil, part 1 through 5. Kelly's not here, so Daniel is filling in. This is Daryl. I am Joe.
What's up?
And I'm wearing pink to represent Kelly's hair.
There
My
you go.
name's Daniel. Yeah. That's all
He baffled you for a second.
Yeah, I'm like,
Kelly's
I'm
hair
not.
is pink.
In the chat room, we have Kat, Thomas Franco, Abigail Parker, Ryan Starr, Super, Steele Thomas.
Some people.
I want to know where all you guys are from, what you guys are doing, and how you guys felt about Green with Evil. This is going to be a general. This is going to be a general. That's I know. This is going to be a general discussion about Green with Evil, part 1 through 5, because. Listen, let's be real. We've all seen the episode. I'm pretty sure all of you have seen the episode. It's the most iconic
5-part episode.
Yeah,
Dude,
multi-part
I
And
know.
at the time, that's never been done.
No.
Ever.
Hashtag Team Joe. Abigail already got it going. Hashtag Team Joe. So, Daryl, can we talk about this real quick?
All right.
I feel like we're having to pitch you to join the right side.
The right side.
Okay. See, I understand kind of where like
Kat, another Team Joe member.
So for everyone else that doesn't know what we're talking about, what are the views of Team Joe versus Team DJ?
Okay, so from what I understand in the like fan fiction that Abigail and Blackwing created,
Or I like to call it canon. That's what it is. Canon,
yeah.
yes.
what happens is that we're all a team, and it spins off of leadership.
Okay.
So DJ feels that, and his character feels, I shouldn't say DJ, the real DJ, but his character feels that we don't need that oversight of a mentor. Whereas I feel, my character feels that we still kind of do. Like, you still need a mentor. I mean, you wouldn't walk out on Zordon, right?
Depends. It depends on what his orders were at the
So
time.
the movie Rangers walked out on Zordon, and look what happened there.
Well, that's because they were all buttholes. They're all immature.
What are you saying about
Whoa.
Team DJ?
I mean, so I don't know. The thing is, like, even in Civil War Avengers, I agreed with Cap because I agreed.
But
that,
you do
like,
also have to admit Cap was wrong.
in some. The way he acted in the movie, yes, he was wrong. But
In the comic book, he gave up and said he was
I
wrong.
believe his overall view of like, hey, we shouldn't be contained under one authority. I agree with that. I don't agree with his actions in the movie, but I agree with
The
like,
only thing I agreed with Captain America on, which I didn't agree with Iron Man on, was that he would make them. He wanted to keep their identities a secret.
Right.
Whereas in my team, you're getting to keep your identity a secret, and still being a ranger, and acting not independently, but we're also going where we need to go.
Yeah, I can't let the people, know about the Who Ranger.
And you know what? Even without, how are you gonna know what's going wrong anyway without a mentor to tell you what's happening?
I don't know, but see, that's the thing. It's like, I feel like this might be one of those things where I'm like, I might stick with you, and then let's see where it goes, and if anything changes.
He's pulling the Spider-Man
Yep,
card.
yep.
Yeah, because it's like, I don't know. That I feel like that's the way I would be in said story. I'd be like,
So
all
right now you're starting with my team.
I'll start with your team, and then we'll see where this fan fiction goes. We'll see where my character decides to like, go to which faction.
There it
faction.
is.
I like it.
One more for the good guys. Now that's gonna be a big tarmac.
Hashtag Team Joe is also bigger so far, and we have beer, according to Abigail.
The party's gonna keep on going if you're a part of this team.
There you go.
It's Stark and Rhodey, and you're
Come on.
kind of like our Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But it was pouring there in New Jersey. It is pretty hot here in Southern California right now.
Yeah.
But let's talk about a few Ranger things real
Okay.
quick. I now know. I actually can't reveal like all of this, So I now know how many Rangers are actually in the team up for Ninja Steel.
No.
And I know exactly who they are.
No.
I saw the footage. Said friend, I guess, showed me like the footage and all the pictures and stuff. But I can't.
I consider him a friend.
He is a good friend.
Yeah.
But I can't reveal any of the details. But
No.
but know that there are that the story is supposed to be a lot better though than it was with
It better be.
with Super Mega Force.
Jesus, it better
Okay,
be.
so you can't tell us who is in it.
Well, we already know a couple of who's
yeah,
actually
right.
going to be there, but now we know the actual like head count.
I do know the
and-
cat count.
Can you
Yeah,
tell us what the heck count is?
10.
Okay, so we know that.
How many did we have for Super Mega Force? It was like 15 or something, right? I believe.
First of all, Van Westering Iron Man wasn't wrong in the movie. How can you defend Captain America? He was protecting a killer. Iron Man was just trying to bring him in. That's it. Anyways, back to this. Go Green Ranger, go. This is like Power Rangers.
Five-parter, man.
Power Rangers Hexagon. Anybody? Are you familiar with Power
I
Rangers
am
Hexagon?
familiar with Hexagon.
So before Ninja Storm was going to be Ninja Storm, there was an idea by one of the writers that it was going to be Power Ranger Hexagon.
Okay.
And Power
There was
Ranger
the guy,
Hexagon. Amit.
Bahamid.
Yeah, he was like one of the writers or something. He pretty much had it was going to be 3 Rangers and these 2 other like outsider Rangers, but the outsider Rangers were led by Jason, and the 3 like other Rangers they're under this thing were led by Tommy.
Okay.
And they had 2 conflicting sides, and there were going to be other Rangers from past seasons that would join each side.
Essentially, what
So essentially, in Power Rangers Hexagon, I'm taking the Tommy role, and I guess he would be
Yeah.
taking
So
the Jason.
almost it's
essentially what Hexagon
what's happening
was,
right
it
now.
was just
Yeah.
that like
Real life
it was a giant Avengers fan fiction for Power Rangers, basically saying, hey, we created the Pentagon Hexagon,
Yeah.
and was like, we're gonna bring back a bunch of Rangers, and they're going to be like on squads where they would send them out, kind of like Power Rangers SPD, but before that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So wait,
That's actually dumb.
Jamail Van Westering, he said pretty easy Joe brainwashed. He was a victim and Cap knew. But guess what? When Iron Man was going to bring him in, he wasn't going to kill him. And Cap was protecting him, but he still killed people. So this guy's like my best friend. If he killed people, I'd still bring him in.
Yeah.
I'd do the right thing. I wouldn't protect him from I'd protect him in terms of not letting anyone else kill him, but I wouldn't not bring him in and go into hiding and be like, we go sort this out on our own.
Like just think about it honestly. When it came to that, the government is going to look at Bucky as a asset, as a weapon. We can go ahead and pretty much recondition him. If he's tainted as far as the brainwashing, and you can't really remove it, well, let's retaint him, but retaint him
exactly.
for our purposes, because that's ultimately what you're gonna do. I mean, it's a war machine. They're always looking to go ahead and have a fight and always have a weapon. So that's ultimately what they would have done. They wouldn't have killed Bucky. So that would have made sense.
They only had orders to shoot him on site after the first 72
yep.
hours
That's
where
right.
they didn't bring him in.
That's right.
That's a little fun fact about that movie. Anyway, we have the super chat button. What the super chat feature does is that it helps support the show, and it goes right back to you, the fans. What we're trying to do here on this show is send some of our fans overseas that may have a tough time getting here to MorphCon to alleviate the funds a little bit, so we could bring you guys out here and hang out with us. That's how you use that super chat feature, and that's what it's used for. But we are going to get into Green with Evil Part 1 through 5 in a general discussion right now.
All right.
Please share out this video through all forms of social media, whether that be Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever it may be.
Please.
But now, let's get into it. Now,
Dragon Zord!
I was brought into Green with Evil. So here's my fun story about the Green Ranger, is that I actually bought the Green Ranger action figure and the Dragon Zord without actually even seeing them on the show yet. So I didn't know that I just knew that, oh man, there's going to be a new one and he has a gold shield and I'm going to buy that. Literally, I think I bought it on a Wednesday and that show debuted on a
It was a
Saturday.
Yeah,
morning.
it was Saturday. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I didn't tell you guys. We have a store. A T-Public store. What you can do, check out some of the designs in there.
I'm gonna post that in the chat right
I'm
now.
posting in the chat right now. Check out some of the designs in there, and if you look at the first one, the first design that's in there, It's the Deadpool selfie shirt. It was actually the first hashtag show shirt that we had. These shirts were so popular, we only got 15 made for the cast, and Daniel literally sold his off his back to a fan.
Yeah, like the fan, well, he insisted because it was just like, no, man, I'm wearing this. You can't just. And he was like, bro, I will buy it from you. There's no more left. I'll buy that one from you. And it was a size bigger than what he was like, I just love the shirt. So he was like, here, guys, what is it? $15. And I just looked like, here you go. Took the shirt off my back. The guy was extremely excited, happy.
Moral of the story: you can buy shirts off Daniel's back.
You can. Congratulations.
It's extremely easy.
So we got great Power Ranger shirts in there. One was made by our good friend Eric Berry from Ranger Command Power Hour.
Yes.
There's every kind of shirt that covers the stuff that we do here at Hashtag Show is in that store. So check out our T Public T-shirt. And Tom Craven already gives us a little bit of a super chat. Just wanted to say what's up. Hashtag Craven is Rangers. Hashtag you were awesome. Hashtag you were great. I don't know what I was going with that. But back to this. That was my experience with the Green Ranger. That was my experience with Tommy. And then I saw the 5-parter and was blown away. That's where I really fell in love with the show. Daryl, what about you?
Green with Evil was the very first Power Ranger episode I've ever seen.
You look like Christmas, by the way. You're wearing a Green Ranger shirt, a red communicator.
Oh, wait, hold up.
Uh-oh.
Look at this.
You know,
He's wearing Green Ranger
Look at
socks.
this. I am all set. I'm ready to go.
Jeez.
But, yeah,
Can't even lift my leg that high.
Green with Evil was my very first Power Ranger episode ever. My dad was flipping through channels.
Boom, boom, boom. I just did a Jasmine.
Oh, you can't even see it.
Jezzer,
blocking. I'll show it again.
Jezzer, who is a part of a secret project we're working on. He just super chatted us $2. Share this with all your Power Ranger friends.
Yes.
Indeed, guys. Please.
I agree.
Gotta get the
Thank
word
you,
out.
Jezzer, wherever you are.
Yes. Wherever you are.
He's on a secret mission for hashtag Team Joe. he's our little mole there. But anyway, yeah. So go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, it's fine. Okay, so my dad was flipping through channels, and then the first thing I saw was Tommy destroying the Rangers. Like, this was the very first episode where he becomes green, and he's just like wrecking, and like, no, you have to stop. Yeah, whatever. And he like flies backwards. That was my very first. I was like, what is this? And my dad was a huge like martial arts like movie buff, and so like we stayed on the channel for a little bit, and I was like, this is great. And then,
Wait, but this is the first time you saw Power Rangers?
yeah, this is the very first
No
time
way!
I've ever seen Power Rangers.
Just-
And
man.
so he flipped the channel, like, I think immediately after that, because it went back to, like, their civilian things, and I was like, I want to watch more. So I found out what the show was on my own, and I just continued to watch like that. So, yeah, that's all my dad's fault. Unintentionally.
There is a request in here to do the evil Tommy laugh.
What? All right.
But I want to hear everybody do it. So Daniel, we'll
Oh,
start
no.
with your evil Tommy laugh.
No. Don't start with me.
Super chat. We'll super chat for Daniel to do the evil Tommy
I can't
laugh.
start it, but I can. Only thing I can really do for Tommy, like, sure, like I can do that really good.
Dude, you don't know the
Like, I can't do the laughing.
Do the laugh.
Like I can't do it.
What was that? You sounded like a.
Like it's fine.
You sounded like a French guy.
No, French guy.
Is there a French dub for Power Rangers? If so, I want to know if that's close.
Like that. You're like, what?
Hold on. Well, let's hear yours.
Oh, then I can do that. Okay, well, let me try it then. Let me wait before you.
Go.
All right. Now you go.
All right. And the Power Rangers are next.
I don't know what you just said.
He said in the Power Rangers.
Andrew Soares, super chat. Andrew Soares says, I really enjoyed it, Jason and Tommy rivalry in this miniseries. This was the start of the rivalry.
Yeah,
by the
this
way.
started where we are now with the rivalry.
And it
was-
translated into real life.
It was
translated into real life.
Art imitating life. Like, it was so accurate.
Thank you very much. It's been
Do you-
it was a long night, guys.
Do you
you.
know how?
The
Do you know a lot of the behind the scenes stuff about how that rivalry happened?
I do.
And it's just like apparently he just they told the cast like, hey, so you're gonna have a new Ranger, and we had no idea. So have fun,
Wait,
basically.
but see, but because of that, automatically you focus on the guy who, like, okay, I accepted a job.
Yeah.
But you
Like,
also have to realize that these are kids. Like, he was like 18 at the time. They're like kids.
Yeah.
even at 18, I'm like, you know what? What am I in? I'm in the industry of show business. I have to understand that. I can't blame him. I have to be mad at the producers. I have to
But
be mad at everybody else for screwing me
It
over.
even
on my
happens
spotlight.
here with 30, you know, with 20s
that's
to 30
true,
people.
that's
So
true.
it's not
Ooh.
it's not like so far out of the question.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that was your first exposure to the Green Ranger.
Yes,
Now, Daniel,
it
what
was.
about you? What was
my-
your first? What was your
To the
first?
Green Ranger?
Well,
Or to Power Rangers?
to the Green Ranger.
Oh well, the Green Ranger. I guess when the show was airing, because I was already watching the show by then every Saturday.
Did you watch the
whenever
first
we were watching
episode?
it. By then I've already.
I was on.
watched
I think my
everything.
first episode was actually Power Punks.
'Cause
Oh, that's
I
right.
think-
You had said that last time.
Man, I don't know what I picked up. It was more of Joe like, you need to watch this.
No. It wasn't actually because you and our friend Tony, we grew up together, watched first,
Right.
and I
Oh
hated
yeah, that's right.
our
That
Tony
is
Fernando,
right.
and I was the one that
It was
was like,
Tony
"This
then.
is
It was
stupid. I don't
Tony.
know why you guys are watching." And then I think I saw a couple episodes. All right, this is actually pretty good. So then I bought the Green Ranger thing, and I was like, "Oh, I love it now." But I was so confused by
Dude, but the Ryan the Dragon Zord and then man, that sold it. Like, that was
quick question for you guys. Now we were just talking about the Tommy Jason rivalry.
Yes.
At the time, which side were you on?
I was Tommy at first. Because of that, green was my favorite color growing up. But my favorite color is now red because reasons. But yeah, he was like, this guy is so cool. You know, I fell under the Tommy spell.
Dude,
Really,
he is.
literally, like
he was, man.
me and the rest of the world like fell and was like, oh, this guy just like completely wrecked the Power Rangers single-handedly, and now he's a good guy, and he has a dragon as a freaking Zord.
Come
Like,
on.
You? What were you?
Well, I was Jason because Jason was good. Jason was on the side that, like, hey, you know what? I'm just here trying to protect the world. You just showed up and beat the crap out of me. That's not fair, you know? Green. But still, nonetheless, Tommy was dope, man.
I was also-
Tommy was so cool.
I was also Team Jason. I actually didn't turn over to Tommy's side until like he became the White Ranger.
Oh no. Once he became
I
Jason-
thought he was too. I thought he was everything was like all about Tommy, and I hated. I don't know. I hated that everything was all about him, and I thought that Jason kind of was like just there, and I was like, dude, Jason deserves so much better.
See, the thing is with Tommy, he was so cool, man. He had a shield, he had a sword, his Zord
I actually
was the
think
size.
Jason looked better in the Shield, though. I actually think Zach looked the
exactly
best.
the
In
best
the
in
Shield.
the shield. It just
black and
aesthetically
gold
pleasing.
usually does.
Exactly, black and gold.
I think that DJ had told me that possibly could have been a test for the Zeo costume for the
Yeah.
gold. And I was like, oh, that makes so much sense. That could have been a test.
I could have totally understood that.
I mean, but his Zord was the size of the Megazord on its own. Like, it didn't need to merge with anyone because it was so awesome on its own. Like, everything about him was great.
That episode where Dragon Zord finally appears and they're all on the roof and they're like, oh man, what is he doing? Do. And they're like, oh crud.
Yeah,
That look of like, oh no, what do we do? Face on the Rangers.
We're about 20 minutes in, so let's actually get into some story here. So we start off with the juice bar, and we see that there's a competition going on. The new kid's in town, and it's Tommy, but everybody gets a look at him, and Jason looks a little intimidated. He's like, man, that guy's pumped. And then, Zach is trying to talk him down and say, you got this, don't worry about it. And Kimberly just can't take her eyes off of him. So Billy's nowhere to be found. Billy doesn't care really about the whole fighting aspect of this. But
he's busy building that flying car, man.
the flying cars are built.
Building a flying car.
They go into it, they have their competition, and they pretty much know that they're evenly matched.
Not really.
When you saw them in their fighting style, though, you could tell that I think Jason was the stronger out of the two.
Yeah.
But Tommy was the faster out of the two.
He still is. Like,
Well, listen, I literally just saw like him fighting off some. What are they called?
Which one's
What are the new ones called? From Ninja Steel.
Bots.
The Kudo bots.
Oh yeah.
And he's still a really good martial artist. Like his moves are pretty legit. But we see this fight. It goes in a tie. Jason's upset because he didn't win.
Right.
we get back to Angel Grove, and we see Billy, Bulk and Skull kind of like harassing Kimberly a little bit. And Tommy saves the day with his and just doing like all these little moves right in front of her face.
In all seriousness, he should have been like suspended on the spot. But like,
like you're a bully now.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
Like he wasn't bullying, but he was just like doing things in school in front of like that in any normal school that would have gotten used.
Sorry, you're gone. You're gone. That's active aggressive.
Yeah,
You need to go.
but no, it was still cool. I'm not gonna deny it wasn't cool, but
So you'd be that teacher like, no.
By the way,
stop.
your comments, your guys' comments move really fast, and we're doing our best to keep up and talk about this at the same time. So if you do use that super chat feature, it helps it stay there so we can actually get back to it and read what it is. Because I do want to know, we all want to know your experience with Green with Evil, because that was such a pivotal moment. Our first real big pivotal moment besides Day of the Dumpster in Power Rangers history right now. So we finally, Tommy ends up leaving, and he pretty much walks down an alley.
Yep.
And Rita appears.
you know what? That scene made me realize though, like when he was walking, like before he walked in the alley, he was walking with someone. It's like, hey man, I'll see you later. That friend is never to be seen again.
Again, ever. Yeah.
And he's like, he was probably blown up forever as soon as he met the other Rangers. And he's like, hey man, do you remember how you said you'd meet me later? It's like, I don't even know who you are.
I know who you are, bro.
That's a good point.
I realized that, and I was like, we never see.
I don't
this
know.
friend
You know,
again.
I also don't know why people said that Tommy was a loner. He never seemed like a loner to me.
Well, he wasn't a loner until he went evil, and he was only a loner when he was evil because he couldn't hang out with the
He was
Rangers.
a loner for 5 episodes.
Yeah, right?
But Rita recruits him to be the evil Green Ranger. She puts him under a spell, and we get our first look at Tommy becoming evil.
Yeah.
After that, Goldar attacks Angel Grove, and the Rangers go to stop him. And as the Rangers are fighting them in Megazord form, a little green guy in a gold shield comes up. He jumps on the head of the Megazord, and all you see the Megazord head go. And he beats the crap out of him.
No, wasn't it like they showed the inside shot and he goes, yeah, like punching the camera and then it started to go that way, or was it?
No, he
what
jumps
happened?
in and walks
well,
to
the
the door.
cockpit's in the chest, so he jumps in.
Cockpit's in the eyes.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it was in there.
No, the cockpit's in here. That's why, like, when they do the hook, and then these are windows.
No, it's the eyes, man.
I think that's what it went. Okay.
No, that's not the windows. It's supposed to be shaped as the eyes, if you look at it.
Whatever. Anyway.
Let's find this out. Go ahead, keep talking. I'll find this out.
So what happened was he punches Trini in the freaking face,
Yeah,
and she flies into the dashboard. This is why you wear your seatbelt, kids. And like,
She was like, oh no! Oh!
and that was when the Rangers knew they effed up because they were just like, wait, what's happening?
So this is supposed to be the eyes, and that's supposed to be the mouth.
Yeah. See eyes.
Is it?
Yeah.
But the design that looks like
I used to think the same thing as you, but you're wrong.
that looks like the windows.
No.
That looks.
Those are the eyes.
Yeah.
Look at the little yellow triangle right on top of it.
Like if you look.
This one was the chest for sure, but let's see.
We're never in that little bone.
Nobody knows what we're looking at, so we keep talking.
Yeah, but,
Andrew Suarez says the cockpit is in the eyes.
yeah.
Yeah, because see, you think it's this,
Yeah.
right? It's not. It's actually up here.
It wouldn't make sense for it to be in the chest though. Yeah.
Huh.
When he
I
punches-
agree with you. I think that aesthetic is
So,
very.
he punches the mess out of
similar,
Trini,
but-
dude.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, poor Trini. She was not expecting
not
it.
ready.
Like, she was like, hey, who's this? God! She just takes a full-on hit.
Yeah, Andrew
Tommy's
Suarez
a
did
woman
say
beater.
cockpit is that he super chatted. He was just so adamant
Yeah.
that the cockpit is in the eyes.
It is in the eyes.
Officially from Andrew Suarez. Thank you so very much. I do have a question for you guys. So once he pretty much kicks him out of the thing, how come we don't ever get to see another Tommy Fireball again?
Oh, yeah, huh?
Like a Hadouken?
I was thinking
Whoa.
about that too, watching the episode. It might have just been influence of Rita's powers.
Andrew Suarez also super chats and says Thunder Megazord had a cockpit in the chest, and that is
Yes,
true.
that's right.
That was the green
That's right.
circle
that was
in
the
the chest.
giant orb. The
I actually like that Zord a lot, actually.
Well, but we were still under the time span of that candle, weren't we? When he turned evil?
The green with evil?
Yeah.
No, that was
When
when
he came
that
up
was
with
when
later, right?
Yeah, that was later. That was
Yeah.
the return of an old
Okay.
friend.
That's right.
back. That's a good episode.
That's a good, yeah.
Good little run there.
No, but yeah. So I don't know. I'm trying to figure out about the fireball. Was it like limited? Could there have been a reason why? Like, okay, he only did it once.
I don't know, but he beat the crap out of the Rangers.
He kicks the shit
No,
out of Treaty, dude. Like, I can't.
One of our
that was
producers
so
is
funny.
playing the episode right now in front of us, and we're just watching the madness unfold.
where he punches
He just
her in
punches.
the face.
So
She
not
was
only
flying, too.
not only does Trini hit the dashboard and everything explodes, the explosions cause the Rangers to go, oh shit!
And they fall out of it. Like, dude, I'm just saying, no one takes a moment to be like, Tommy is a bad guy was really a bad guy.
No, but
'Cause
he
punched
don't-
a woman. Like, yeah, no problem. He just jumped in like,
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Well, here's the thing too. So when Tommy gets down there, he tears the Rangers up on the ground.
He doesn't,
Yeah,
he doesn't
yeah,
do
yeah.
the fireball, thunderball thing only once. He does it again in the last episode when he's fighting Jason.
Oh yeah, okay.
oh. Okay.
So that's why I feel like that's only like
evil thing?
Yeah, under the influence.
So
of
he's
Rita's
stronger as a villain.
I mean that's what everyone said
yeah.
after, like, because now he relied on the fact he had a team now, and that's why he lost his power, because he wasn't as strong, you know. That's,
Yeah, they did depower him after he went good. You
Yeah.
know, they had to take away some stuff. He
Yeah,
couldn't
they
be great.
couldn't be the well. The White
They
Ranger
didn't
came
want him
up
to be
later.
the leader.
Anyway, we're jumping ahead of the curve. All right, going back to Rangers.
So he pretty much
getting
beats
their
the
butt
Rangers
kicked.
up. They have to go back to the command center and find out what the hell's going on. Before we even talk about that, we didn't even talk about him destroying the command center.
Oh, man.
We talk about him tearing up the panels, putting a CD in
a
Alpha,
CD-ROM in Alpha's back.
which is the best, by the way. Because now you would, I guess, put a USB drive in him, right?
Yeah. The
If he has
flash
some
drive.
ports.
That entire like scene was ridiculous. Well, because
This is Wi-Fi hack. You
Well,
know,
it was
whatever.
because of the fact that he teleported in, and Alpha was off or was just recharging.
Sleeping,
And
he
he's
was
like,
recharging.
oh yeah. And Zordon's like up there, like, oh, I'm just gonna acknowledge, not gonna acknowledge. What are you doing to Alpha?
But here's the thing, too. Zordon knew who this was.
But he asked him like, who are you? You like.
Yep.
No, and he was
It
like,
wasn't-
well, Rita's finally chosen her evil Green Ranger.
But he
And he was
acknowledged
like,
it after
Tommy!
the fact.
No! That's what he said.
No. Well, Rita has finally chosen her Green Ranger. Tommy! No, like he did. There was a pause in between, and he's like,
He didn't acknowledge
Tommy.
the fact that he was the Green Ranger until after the fact, though. It was just kind of like,
But he was.
how did you get in here?
He was the Green Ranger.
Yeah, but that's how.
Well,
did
he accessed it. He got in there with the power coin.
But that's what Zordon as. Like, you know, he's the Green Ranger. Why did
Yeah,
you
of
even
course.
bother asking him that?
Hey, man, he also knew he was Tommy, apparently.
yeah.
Zordon, I'm looking at this now. He was not the most capable of leaders.
No.
You can see why DJ's like, I don't know about following a mentor. When
He's
you got
good.
Zordon being an idiot.
If anything, Zordon is best at, it's planning Plan Bs. Because no matter what happens in this series, the Rangers are going to get their base destroyed. Let's send them into space with a very special shuttle that'll connect to another spaceship
I
that
thought you
creates a
meant
head.
another kind
that I didn't have
Plan B.
until this happened.
Yeah,
Like,
and it's just like, oh, by the way, I'm also gonna stick my protege in a cave for 20 seasons until they're finally, like, if nothing else, Zordon was good at setting up Plan Bs.
well, Zordon always knew that things were gonna go wrong. Like, he did. He always knew, and he was like, "I need to make sure I protect everyone, and this is how I'll do it with elaborate plans."
Yeah.
So the Rangers end up getting back to the command center, and everything is messed up.
Oh, boy.
Everything's ruined.
Understatement.
And that's pretty much how the episode ends.
Yes.
So we get to the second. I'm not going to do this chronologically. We're just going to talk about some of the highlights here. 'Cause
Yeah.
This is taking a
The
while.
second episode, actually, I had on VHS. That was like the only Green with Evil thing I had on VHS.
Oh, wow.
And I can't even tell you how many times I've watched that episode. Like, there's that, there's that part where Jason's punching the punching bag.
Oh, I love that.
That's like, I can't give him off my mind. Dude. I know the whole rhythm, and I punch punching bags personally, in that rhythm because of that episode, and it's just instinctive
No
now.
way.
I can't even
You
help
know
it.
what's interesting also about this is because if you actually go back and watch this for being Power Rangers, it almost seemed like this could have been a primetime episode.
Yeah.
Because you could tell, and I love the fact that this is really the first time the Power Rangers are beat. They're defeated and they have no idea what's going on. They have no direction. And this is also the first time where Jason has to be the leader. Most times he can rely on Zordon or somebody else. And it's also the first time you get to see Zach step into a leader role.
You know, I didn't
that's
really
true.
think about that. The fact that like Jason is actually forced into a leader role. I didn't think about that until you just said that.
Well, I mean, this is what I loved about this because you're getting to see everybody's story arc here. If you really take a step back and think about what they did in these 5 episodes, they tried their best to give everybody
A spotlight.
a personality trait that you could be like, all right, this is what they are, this is what they are. The only person I would say they didn't do that with really was Trini.
Yep.
Yeah, I was
thinking the
say
same
that.
thing. 'Cause there are moments where you got Zach and Kimberly working together. You've got Billy inside of the command center. You've got Jason, who is now kidnapped with Goldar. And where's Trini?
Well, see, Jason has to become the leader.
Right.
Like, he is the guy that has to step up to the plate and become the leader. Then you have Kimberly, who's starting to figure all this out.
She puts
She's
it
the
together
first
where
one.
She says the whole thing about, wait, Jason's missing. Tommy says he was going to be with Jason after school. I haven't seen Tommy, and wait a minute. And then let's run off, and they put it all together, and they go for it.
Chester
She's
did
like,
say that Trini couldn't have a personality trait because she got knocked the fuck out in the Megazord.
That was her highlight. That's
was-
so bad, but it's so true.
She was
That's like-
concussed. She was literally concussed because it was like, he showed up like, yo, what's up? Shut the fuck up. All right, let me go. And then she was like, ah. You know?
But yeah, Kimberly's the one that really starts piecing the puzzle together. Then you got Zach, who has to step up and be the pseudo leader when Jason's trapped in the dark dimension. And then you have Billy, who has to fix everything. Because I love the fact that Billy's fixing the command center, and like he's at the panel, and Kimberly's like looking over his shoulders, like, "You come on, you can do it." And he looks back, and like he's like, "Shut up, let me go back to work."
Come on, you can do this.
Like,
Shut up.
shoot to this
Like,
You know my
who's,
favorite part about like Billy's character in these like 5 episodes is the fact that he built a flying car just for this.
No. The rad bug appeared before.
That's
this.
what I
They
mean.
did.
He built one just for the sake of building one, and they finally had a purpose in these 5 episodes.
right.
They
That's
couldn't
right.
travel to the command center.
Well, no, this is the second time that they used the rad bug. So
no, but that's what I mean. It's like now it's like that's their only
yeah,
way
that's
to
the
get
only way to
Yeah,
get
exactly.
in. Like, it's a
It
great
was-
plot
it was
point.
perfect. It was there.
And that I actually did like that a lot. That the callback stuff. That
Yeah.
Billy's inventions are actually playing
useful.
out
They
here.
weren't just there for the sake of being
of
there.
one episode and then
Yeah,
done.
they're actually being used because they have no other way to get to the command center.
Yeah, which is great for the American writing team to actually think of something like, okay, we did put this in for our audience for fodder, but hey, can we still use that?
Yeah, exactly.
we can. Let's do that. Like, that was smart.
I also like in this episode that we get to see the Rangers blow off steam in their own way.
Yes.
We see obviously Jason and Zach kind of working out and like just hitting a bag, and it makes sense because you always hear people say, "Oh, I got to blow off some steam. I'm gonna go do whatever it is." That's how Jason blows off steam.
Yeah.
Kimberly seems super mopey because she does run into Tommy in high school, and Tommy straight blows her off, like
Newsflash,
fucking
Kimberly, you're at the
savage.
center of everyone's world.
She was like,
Excuse me for living, and he's
Yeah,
like,
right?
"Damn right."
She was like, oh,
Tommy's
hurt.
savage.
Man, I would never let Tommy talk to me like that.
She was like, oh my God, I'm so hurt. He looked with that flash of green in his eye, like, yes.
Yeah, he was savage, and then he also like beats up Bulk and Skull with his magical Green Ranger power, like puts him in a. trash
That's
can.
another thing that I imagine
Yeah.
that only Rita's powers could do. Like Rita's coin, Rita's power is like, hey, that person, I want to teleport them. And like Spider-Man's them away into the dark dimension, like with green smoke.
Well, Tony Robinson in here says, "What if Tommy stayed green and white with someone else?" That was actually supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Brad Hawkins from VR Troopers was supposed to be
Oh, yeah.
the White Ranger, and Tommy was supposed to go on to VR Troopers and have his own show.
No, but I think what he might have been referencing is like if we had green and white on the same team.
I don't
Power.
think
It's
I
too much
don't
power.
I just don't think that would happen because you can tell they were struggling just to get enough Green Ranger footage to begin with.
Right.
And that's, I mean, listen,
Even
when we get to
with you-
season 3 of Power Rangers, you can tell that it's just Zord footage and then like the other monster from another season like reacting.
yeah.
It was not coherent.
Because
So then
the Zord
they
go
got
like
to a
this,
point
and
where,
then-
and they were like, all right, well, we don't want to completely change it. So let's make Alien Rangers for the next 10 episodes to make it a storyline. Then they're like, fuck, we really got to change everything around and make a whole nother thing. But I think that's what happened.
Yeah.
But and so Tommy is in the school hallway. He meets up with Jason and like shoots his coin at him and sends him to the dark dimension.
Man.
That was
Here's the thing about the dark dimension. And also, this is the first time I noticed that Goldar starts sounding like the iconic Goldar.
Yeah.
Because
Like, he changed
I
his
know,
voice up,
I know
right?
Kerrigan Mahan, if that's how you pronounce his last name, so apologize. He had trouble finding his Goldar voice, and I think it was during Green with Evil that he finally found it. Also, I noticed that Goldar has these mannerisms when he talks like, "I will destroy you," and he'll move his hand in a circle, and it's like, this is. I didn't realize this before. But yeah, it's
Rangers.
this is the time where Goldar finally came into us. Everything in this 5-part episode, everything kind of just fell together. This is what Power Rangers was.
Can I hear your Goldar?
I don't have a good Goldar.
I don't.
The only way I can
It's
do-
it's kind of like gargling, but heavy.
The only
voice
way I
at
can
the
do
same
the
time.
Goldar voice is if anyone knows this meme, there's a bunch of anime characters that sound exactly like him. It's like, "Hey, you're Messi. You know who else is gonna get those Power Rangers? My mom!"
You have a good Goldar, don't you?
No, it's like, that's all it is. That's it. That's all I do. Because that's all he does. Oh no. Then baboon. I don't know. The baboon.
You sound
Your
like you're
Goldar is
constipated.
terrible.
Oh, no, baboon.
It's your Goldar.
I don't know.
Sounds like a fat Albert that's been smoking a last cigarette.
Literally.
It does not sound like
Literally.
Goldar.
What baboon though? Do you have a baboon?
You have a baboon?
I can't even remember what he sounds like off my head.
He's like,
Yeah, I
kind
can't-
of like
I
that,
can't
like
do
that
that.
weird kind of. I don't know.
Does Jason Ybarra have a baboon voice? Did he have to do the baboon voice, or was it a voice
No,
actor?
he's just a voice actor. He just, oh no, I'm sorry, Rita. Oh, sorry. I don't know.
If you ever need to bring back Babu for any future seasons, this guy.
That's the only one. Because
I do want to do a redub of Power Rangers in Daniel's baboon's voice.
Oh no. Oh, sorry, Rita.
I don't know. I don't know. That's like Squat. That's like
Squad is.
I have a friend that looks like Squat. His name is Greg Schneider.
Oh my God.
He looks like Squat.
That's so mean.
He does though. He does look like Squat. Anyway,
But dude, that whole scene, that was so much action in the dark realm.
Oh,
or
and then
whatever.
Dark Dimension.
the
Dark
action
Dimension.
didn't start yet until because it ended off on a cliffhanger. But he gets pushed to the ground.
Well, he backhands.
I know one
He
thing.
slaps him.
I'm going to end this game.
that was so
But
cool,
what
by
he
the
does
way.
first, he pimp slaps him, and he's like, "Go!" and he falls down, and then he pulls out the sword. And
No,
he's
he
like,
tries to find him at first, and he tells him,
does.
"Hey, if you don't let me out of here, and he's like, Goldar says one of the best lines in this episode. He says, "Right now, you're demanding. By the end of this, you're gonna be begging."
Begging, yeah.
And I was like, "Yes, this is."
Now you are demanding.
Oh, by the way, this is also the first time we get Scorpina. We're
the
getting
next
so
episode,
many.
yeah, that's right.
This is like Rita's been foiled for the last 17 episodes.
Y'all have crossed me for the last time.
For the
That's
last
it.
17
Not
episodes.
anymore.
This is the first time you actually see her formulate a plan and start executing it
And
piece
is
by piece.
doing it properly,
And
like
tears them
everyone.
apart.
Yeah,
Because when we get the Dragon Zord,
man,
and the Dragon Zord tears their Zords apart pretty much. It was amazing.
that's what that moment happened. Like you said,
When we're all, I think in the show it cut to commercial too, and it's like, oh man, what's doing? And then they do the whole, oh no, and fade to black, and I was like, I can't believe this.
That's how the episode ends, isn't it?
No,
Oh no, it
no,
ends in the Dark Dimension.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a dark dimension with the sword. Like
I do want to know, even to this day, how Goldar just happened to get Jason's Morpher. I think it would have been.
Yeah,
I
because
think-
Jason reaches for it and he goes, looking through this or whatever. And he's
It's like, did Goldar sneak up behind? He's like, I'm gonna walk up in front of him now.
yeah, you can't see these giant wings or anything else. Yeah, nobody notices this.
Was that the Rita spell thing? Was that part of it, or did he
Possibly.
actually sneak up behind him and just
I
like?
think I'm gonna go
Nay.
for I'm gonna go for Rita's spell.
Yeah.
We also don't know how long he was there, unconscious or whatever, right? He could have just been like.
Oh, that's right. Oh wait, no, he wasn't unconscious. He just
He zapped in there, awake.
He was walking and then
Oh yeah, that's right.
where?
That's
So I think
crazy.
it was part of the spell.
But
Just
the
going
one thing
wrong
I
there.
love in there is that you could tell Jason is terrified.
But
because
he
he-
is
listen,
fighting
He was
for
even
his life.
sweating in that scene too.
He doesn't have his power coin to
No.
rely on, and this is he's used to having his powers. Now that they're stripped away, it's like, well, how badass
How
are you
good
now?
am I?
How good are you
Yeah.
now?
And he was already shaken about
And I think
how good he was.
that was the best part about that scene, because now we get to see how powerful Jason actually is. You know, without his powers, without the assistance of like everything
But let's
else.
be real, Goldar schools him in there.
Oh
Hey,
yeah.
but no, man. But Jason really tried to put to it. Like he really did. Like, all right, kick, punch, like you know.
Until he fell to the ground and hit in the mist.
But
no,
this
dude,
is-
he got hit, fell to the ground. He got up again. He tried.
And then he
again,
laid there
like-
and just made sure that Goldar's sword didn't hit him in the head.
But
Well,
this is the first time
get
we've ever
overpowered.
had a human go up against an elite
Exactly.
alien
Exactly.
like entity.
Without
Like
his
before, it
powers,
was
that
just
was
like,
pretty
oh,
good.
putties are like whatever. They're made of clay, and you punch them and they explode.
Yeah.
Like Goldar is like a general of like human, a random like 17-year-old human went up against this like.
a guy who's like taking over worlds.
Yeah.
And now here it is, and you're fighting him. So I mean, to
But
even
we also
step up
get
to it was great.
Tommy getting the Sword of Darkness too.
Oh
at the beach.
yeah.
But back to this Jason fight. That's pretty much where the episode ends. But
Right.
that's it.
The last thing about that fight is that he's on the ground and Goldar's like, "Where are you? Where are you?" It's like you can literally see.
do you have any
through
comments
this.
for us to read, by the way? Oh.
No.
It was just watching that whole thing happen. It's like I'm sure he can see the ground. Why is he even like playing with him and him?
Well, I mean, it was pretty misty. I mean, it did have a lot of fog in there. I mean,
Yes.
Oh man.
it's kind of like I've been in. Have you been in not Scary Farm?
Yes.
And that fog
The
machines
big
are so thick
Yeah.
that you can't see necessarily what's. I've been in a few things like that
Yeah.
before. But
Moving on.
moving on,
Scorpina.
Scorpina's down there. She beats their asses, but also before the final strike of Goldar killing
Funny.
Jason.
Yeah.
Tommy comes in and says that she wants that honor to be mine. And he pretty much screws it up because Jason gets away at that point because Billy fixes the command center.
Yep.
They get a lock on Jason and they get him out of there. And he's like, dude, that was close. Like,
But right
Man,
behind him.
what did he
was-
say? He's
was
like,
the-
man, you
Well,
would not believe my day.
he was like, well, whoever this green guy is, he is one bad dude.
But did he show up in the command center right there too?
No.
Didn't the Green Ranger show up right?
He
No.
did. He
Oh, no,
showed up
okay.
later on, and Alpha trapped him in that force
Oh,
field.
that's right, that's
But
right.
but he didn't-
Alpha outwitting the Green Ranger.
Alpha,
Yeah,
like
right?
Alpha's
Well, Alpha
the
was
homie
like,
in this
nobody's putting a
episode.
CD in my back again.
Well,
That was it.
I think Alpha actually is the turning point of where the Rangers start winning.
Yeah.
He's the reason why that starts happening because he's smart enough to figure out, yeah, you put me in sleep mode, but my other
My
protocols
backup
kick in,
generator.
Yeah, exactly.
which was quite impressive.
Yeah.
However, like even though they were able to trap like the Green Ranger in that force field, the Rangers started to win, and then Rita was like, nope, teleports him out, makes him big, and then the dinosaurs are gone.
Yeah.
Wait, is this also the first time we get Tommy or the first time we get a human being?
A human, yeah,
a
human being.
giant.
Yeah.
Giant.
If you don't count that hiccup in the editing in like one of the past episodes
kid?
with Tickle Sneezer or whatever, that was awful. If you don't count that hiccup,
Don't count that.
yes, this is the first time we've ever had like a human being a giant. And he was wrecking house because like the Megazord is only so mobile, and you're fighting against a ranger. Like. It makes me wonder though, because Zach does say like, oh man, if we were at full power, we would destroy him. But they also were really confident about beating him in small form. So I don't know how like accurate that.
Yeah. I mean, it could have been like, oh, we're great. Here goes the fireball. Oh no.
Yeah, like,
That's it.
And I also like in this that the actual fight mech fight scenes aren't just the one and dones, and they're not just like,
Yeah.
oh, we're gonna beat somebody and it explodes, blah. It's just they're bigger plot points. Like I remember Bulk and Skull being on that dumb bus, and then like getting.
I
their
forgot
trapped.
about that.
And then like it falls into the Megazord's hands.
Yeah.
Like, remember that? But this is the first time where I felt that Angel Grove was actually in real peril.
Yeah. Every other time before that.
It was just a one and done fight thing, and this is the first time.
We completely skipped over one of my favorite parts of Green and the Evil is the fact that they without Jason, they thought Tommy was so incredibly powerful. They were like, I'll destroy you. Oh yeah, we'll see about that. Mastodon, tear it out! And they called their Zords just so Tommy could shoot a fireball, and they reflect it with the Mastodon shield
Yeah, that's
and
right.
shoot it back in. They had to summon the Zords to beat this.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how powerful Tommy was at the time.
Man,
You know, and I
great
don't know.
villain.
I don't know if anybody's reading the Boom Studios comic. I feel like every week I come in here and I talk about the Boom Studios comic, but the storyline right now is that, well, what if Tommy? And this is it's so good for anybody that's not reading it. I swear to you,
It's
you
a
will
what
not
if
regret it.
story, basically.
Well, it's half what if, half like not. But
Yeah, exactly.
The story is if they broke Tommy's spell and the Green with Evil thing happens, but Tommy doesn't want to turn good, so he just goes off and he pretty much conquers everything with Rita.
What?
It's a great story. He kills Jason, and you see like,
alright.
he kills Jason. Jason ends up becoming the White Ranger, kills him. And I think a few of them go into hiding,
Yeah.
like and form like a
Billy,
a
Billy
resistance.
dies.
Billy dies. They don't say where Kimberly's at, or don't tell me because I'm not there yet.
Oh, I don't know. I'm
Yeah, 'cause
behind.
I'm
too.
behind like two issues. I
I
think.
think yeah, and then the annual just came out. The second.
I haven't gotten that either.
I have it. I just haven't read it.
wow.
Yeah,
That's actually-
the Lord Dracon thing, because he calls himself Lord Dracon now, and he's
Oh!
half white, half green.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's god, that's such a good series. It's like
Zach's the one that's alive with it's Zach
Yes.
Trini. They have Aisha. I think Rocky's with him. Bulk is like part of the Resistance. It's really good.
it's one of those things that like as much as I love Power Rangers, the Boom Studio comics and the movie understand what Power Rangers is supposed to be currently. You know, like as far as like where Power Rangers is going, it's like being catered to kids. It's like, you know, oh, new superhero save the day every week and blah blah blah. But I feel like Power Rangers has the potential to be something more, kind of like a TV series of like Star Wars, Star Trek, like style.
Like building the
but for
universe.
kids.
I think what's cool. I completely agree with you, Daryl. I think what's cool what I think personally Power Rangers should do, and I was just having this conversation with Yoshi and Peter over the weekend, or
Yeah.
last week, is that I wish that for 6 years that the show would let it grow with its audience. So if you're targeting 12-year-old boys, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, take them on that ride for those 6 years, and then redo it again and recycle it every single
No,
time.
and that does make sense, but the problem is 12, 13, 14, 15, that's great. 16, you're not buying toys anymore.
You don't need to,
17,
though. But you're buying
I
movie
need-
tickets.
But I need you to buy toys so I can continue to make
But
the
see,
show.
if you're a hardcore fan, we know, like Daryl here,
Yeah.
No, I know.
he just bought himself a like $100 communicator.
Okay, well, where are all
Actually,
those
it was on
hardcore
sale.
fans? Where were all those hardcore fans, and how many of them are there when the movie came
Well,
out?
hey.
The ticket sales didn't
Yeah.
do
Well,
well.
forget ticket
That's the
sales,
problem.
but it is the #1 selling toy brand. Power Rangers.
Which
#1
still
selling
That's
toy brand in the
surprises
world.
me, actually.
Because once again, they stay at a particular age thing. If they go,
Well,
over,
if you-
because
wait,
that's-
whoa,
it's my complaint. It's
can't-
my complaint because I hate the fact that
you can't
I hate
assume-
the fact that that's how television.
You
is
can't
run.
you can't assume though that 12-year-old kids are buying $100 morphers or
Very true.
$20 action
Very
figures.
true.
So yes, maybe they're buying the ones that, but I think hardcore collectors are the ones that are definite. Listen, I mean, a few of you guys, DJ would know better than anybody. I know he's not here, but he would know better than anybody. Some of these collectors go out and buy everything that they see and have the market on it so they can, for the resale purpose. Listen, we were just talking about this with Austin St. John.
Yeah.
Austin St. John is now not personalizing autographs anymore.
He is personalizing.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's only
He's
personalizing
only
autographs.
personalizing.
Sorry. He's only personalizing autographs, and I think that it's a collector's market. This is the reason why, because one of his pops with his signature on it was going for $600. People are buying this kind of stuff. Not saying that sold,
Yeah.
but people are buying this. How many? I mean, I've been at Toys R Us, and there are not any movie action figures left, really, per se. I mean, I've seen a
Yeah,
couple.
very true.
Yeah, and Glendale Target, like the whole Ranger section is like bare. There's nothing there, and apparently all the movies copies that they have been sold out.
I mean, Jezer just bought a new Megazord. He's already thinking about selling it to his buddy Brandon.
Yeah.
But but that's it's a whole nother thing. But the collectors are there. The collectors are definitely there, and I love it. And
Yes.
I hope that there's two things we get at Power Morphicon. Two things that we get
Well,
at San Diego Comic-Con.
right.
And I'm gonna ask Bandai later on today. One is I hope we get the Rita Green Ranger figure from the movie. Two,
That.
I hope we get I was gonna say it, and I just completely forgot. Oh, Lord Dracon figure.
Oh, that would be bomb.
That would be pretty sick.
Okay.
That's what I want, but I don't think.
I want figures of the pink variations.
Oh, okay.
The
I've heard a lot about
did
that.
you? Are you
Oh yeah, the
reading
Pink Ranger comics. Yeah,
I
yeah,
want
yeah.
those variations.
I know because that Black Ranger with the hoodie is dope.
I just like that design with like the one like diamond in the middle and then like the accenting like black and whites and it's so cool. I love those. But yeah, I mean, not to stray too far off, but I feel like if they wanted to, this is what Power Rangers should be. It's like for kids, yes, but they have the whole potential to like make this an interlocking show. Like that's what made Mighty Morphin to Space and even Lost Galaxy so strong.
I mean, if they're able to do it with Q Ranger in Japan,
Well, yeah, that's very true. But a lot of people say the whole thing of, well, and I've heard the words where they say Japan, they've trained their audience to be smarter. It's the way to say it.
Yeah, exactly.
They've trained their audience to be smarter, and for us, our audience has trained producers to be dumber.
Yeah.
Essentially.
No, yeah, I agree.
It's like that's the way it's happened with the U.S.
That's why every time
Our
a new
audience is
season
trained.
comes out, it immediately dumps the audience back down to like, here, we're back at square one. Whereas, let's not raise the stakes, let's
Well-
bring them back.
I also think that every iteration of Power Rangers from Dino Charge on is going to be in its own separate universe.
I don't agree with that, but you know,
I think it's gonna happen. 100%.
I think it will be too. I totally agree that I think that's where it's going. I don't like that. Though.
Why not?
Because it's just that's what made Power Rangers, in comparison to Super Sentai, so strong, is the fact that all the stories, even though they're separate, still have continuity with each other.
Because I think I agree with Daryl on this, is that it's because it's a sense of tradition and passing a torch. Mm-hmm. And I don't think, and I always loved that what Saban did towards Space On, or Space On really, or
Yeah.
I guess Zeo too, I guess a little bit. But they would do a team up, like a two-parter team up with the next cast. So they would bring in the old cast and team them up because it was a passing of the torch, and it did feel very much like that.
But
Yeah.
being honest though, and direct with it, I do like your idea because I like
The
5
5
years.
years
Oh.
5 years
recycle.
then, because I mean, with that, yeah, it can grow, but I know that the objection would be automatically, well, when we hit that 16, 17 year, what if we have new 12-year-olds?
Well, no, I think
What do we
that's
do
the
with
thing.
them?
What we do is with those audiences that are 16, 17, then we wean them off on the new movies. Like that's your next thing. 'cause that's
Yeah,
what you're
5
into.
seasons. So you do 5 seasons in a movie, or like that. I
Right,
get
right.
that.
But
okay, but what about those? But that 15-year-old.
then you start over
What are we
again.
doing with the 12-year-olds that are just coming?
You
just
start
coming
back.
in?
You start back. You start back every single season.
Like every time there's a new season,
Every single time you can
back.
bring them on too.
All right, on your arc. But what about those kids that are just coming to be 12-year-old at that arc where you're hitting the 15-year-old point before you do the movie? Like, is your last?
No, you
this is
recycle.
This is your final season number.
You would
number
recycle.
5.
So let's say Ninja Steel was a brand new arc and it was the end of that era. Then you recycle. You start with that audience.
It
again and
technically
bring up
was
the new
new.
kids.
but
with the end of
what
Dino
I'm saying
Charge?
is, okay, so season 1, season 2, season 3, season 4, season 5 of a story arc, right?
Right.
That's what you're gonna do. Now you're at season 5, and you have a kid that says, "I want to join in and start watching." And there's some people that are like, "No, I'm not gonna jump on Netflix and go back. I want to see what's happening right now." That 12-year-old, will they be able to grasp?
Yeah,
what the
absolutely.
15-year-old
Listen,
If you look
let's-
at it
let's
in
realize-
the way if you look at it the same way that Mighty Morphin went up to space,
Yeah,
Space
exactly.
was still the most popular season to this day
It's
because of
the
just
best.
how insane it was. Like
Right.
no matter where you jumped in, things were just happening, and they just included just enough for you to understand what was happening in the
And
past.
then if you look, and if you go on and look at Lost Galaxy, it was like a
it was
like a new
technically
thing.
a continuation.
A continuation,
Was.
but then you get some of the best story arcs because it gives you that ties back into space when they teamed up and one of the Rangers ended up dying and that one took over for that one. And
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly. It's a whole and comparing it to Marvel or DC, it's like there's a whole legion of superheroes everywhere, and that's the fact that I don't like them separating these continuities. It's just it just feels wrong.
Continuities, you mean?
Continuities. Same continuities. Y'all know what I mean.
Tomato, tomato.
No, I agree with him 100%. I also think that I should just write Power Rangers, the TV show.
Well, yeah. I mean that's the point.
It would be too much work,
I mean,
though. I
you
wouldn't want
can
to.
talk to Chip.
Now I feel bad for Chip because he's writing all that stuff by himself.
Yeah.
Well, see, you just think, "Hey, Chip, what's going on, man?" Got this
Because
pages
Q
here."
Ranger, that would be the season I'd write the shit out of it.
Right, man.
I already know what I'd want to do. Like I'd want to put Balance as a Machine Empire character that's good.
Just, yeah.
It's just the perfect like a thing that you can throw a bunch of throwbacks and not everyone will get, but just enough that it works.
Well, and you wouldn't even need the throwbacks of doing all the like Sentai 5 and like
Oh
whatever.
yeah, like whatever. Those are cool.
Those are
but
cool,
they're
but
not.
They're not things that I care about as a Power Ranger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I want to see more of the things that are like, oh, let's bring Triforia back. Let's bring Aquitar back.
It's like because those
Let's
were
recruit
part of
an
the
Earth
Power
Ranger
Ranger
from
universe.
Stone Canyon. Let's really
Ooh.
deep dive into creating the bigger universe here.
Like you don't have to say like, oh, Stone Canyon, that's where that's from. You just have to say
No,
the
just-
fact
just say
Stone
Stone
Canyon,
Canyon,
and it's
everybody
just
else will
that
catch it.
like
That's right.
the audience will go insane. Like no, all the kids would be like, oh, what's that? As they get older, they'll come to realize, oh, that's where these come from.
That's right.
You know, and it's just those little things in the Power Ranger universe that like if you separate them, they no longer matter. You know,
But when you bring them all
Yeah,
together,
what's the point of like
I get what
creating a
you're saying.
universe if you're not going to take advantage of it?
And that does also help revive those, like people will go back rewatches, and with the rewatches, people will be like, "Dang, oh, that was cool."
Because
Exactly.
if,
now I want to buy these.
if
toys
they do
again.
Q Ranger
It goes
and they
on
make
on.
Balance like how he is in the Japanese version, and they have to do something with Naga because they're together.
Yeah.
So what I would do is have Balance be from the Machine Empire that's good, but then Naga, since he's kind of void of emotion and doesn't really get anything, I would have that be a character from Edenoi, who is part of the Masked Rider universe, who made Alpha, because they have very similar personality traits.
Right.
So that way
That's
they
true.
could have found each other.
Yes.
And then you got a connection that would lead to Masked Rider / Power Rangers
Yeah,
and
and-
Power Ranger
oh,
Zeo.
man.
And then I would make one of Kruger's race, Garu.
Okay.
So that way you still have the furry type character
Yeah,
in there.
exactly.
There's so much I would want to do with that season.
There's just so much that is possible for this season that's what I mean. It's like if they mess up Q Ranger, it's gonna hurt me.
Chimplin,
lot.
are you watching? Huh?
It's just-
yeah, I agree.
It's gonna hurt a lot because it's just like Gokaiger. They had all this source material and all this like background material that they could use to make this, and if they don't take advantage of it, it's just like even as simple as throwing out a line like, "Oh, you're one of what was Kruger's race? Anubis something."
Anubis, and it's the Egyptian god.
Anubis.
Anubis.
Yeah, Anubis Kruger or whatever. It's like even just
Well,
saying
that's just
like,
his name. I don't know if that's his race, but that's his name.
but even just saying something as simple as like you're from that planet or something.
Mm-hmm.
That's enough. You know, just to like satisfy people. We don't need like there's a simple explanation for that. That was hilarious, but it was like not what we wanted. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see them
Power
traveling more into space. Like you could, but it also could bring back characters that are from outer space that haven't necessarily been touched upon. Like you can almost talk about what's his name, Heckle from Dino Charge. You can also bring in Orion at some point.
Right.
You can bring in Trey of Triforia. There's so many different planets that we've been to and seen, KO-35, that we've seen that we haven't been touched upon. But I think we should wrap up the show, or finish up Green with Evil 5. So eventually the Rangers defeat Tommy, break his spell, and he becomes a part of the team. And this is the first time we get to see...
And then spell over.
the first time we get to actually see the Tommy's Megazord merge with their Megazord, and I thought that looked the best. Like that was my favorite looking Megazord.
Which was really cool.
But that's pretty much it. Now Tommy's a member of the team, and now it's funny because when I saw this, I didn't know if Tommy was just going to be like, all right, Green with Evil's done. Now
No more Tommy. Yeah,
no more Tommy.
right?
But they say, welcome to the Power Rangers at the end there, and they give him his communicator.
Right.
And they do the little Power Rangers. But now he's a member of the team. He's no longer a loner.
It was, I gotta say, a 5-parter for a kid's show. Bravo.
That's like for what it was ambitious.
Yes.
And it turned out to be the best because the toy sales were amazing.
Man.
The viewings were like off the chart.
Yeah.
This is what did it for Power. This is what Power Rangers like was trying to be. Like they finally found their stride, and this was it.
It is, because it's what, if you ask most people that are even just novice watchers, you ask them, well, hey, Power Rangers, what do you remember? Oh yeah, I remember blah blah. Tommy the Green Ranger.
Oh yeah, the Green
That's it.
Ranger.
That's
What was his
it.
name?
Tommy, yeah.
Tommy. Yeah.
People know. And
People
it's-
just know.
It just makes sense that they should, because, well, Tommy was dope, man. I mean, here I come. Oh, sorry. Look at that. Ha! Gotta knock that off. Here he comes with a shield. He has a sword. He's just better and different than everyone else, and it was just for good reason. And he was able to take everyone on by himself, single-handedly. He was cool. He was the guy that Kimberly wanted.
Yeah.
Come on.
Kimberly was hot.
Yeah. So
Still is.
with that being the case, it was I understand why this whole arc was so memorable.
Exactly.
Why this whole arc was monumental as far as Power Rangers itself, and I loved it. I'm glad I got to watch it.
I am too, and that's gonna wrap up this episode of the Ranger Wrap Up. We hope you enjoyed our special Green with Evil saga,
with Evil.
which changed the game up for Power Rangers. Kind of since you replaced DJ, are you like our Rocky?
Oh, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
Am I?
You're kind of like the Rocky.
I have to jump out of a ring now and break my back and have a kid replace me. We'll have Jezra replace me.
And I don't know. I guess you'd be still. I don't know if you're like Zach. You're like Zach.
Maybe.
I guess I'd be Tom. But that's gonna do it for us. Kelly will be back next week, I believe. Or will she be back next week? Is Kelly here next week? I think Kelly's here next
We'll
week.
see what happens.
Kelly's
we
probably
have a week.
She's recovering from E3. She did a lot there. Well, I guess we all kind of are recovering from E3. You're recovering just from that first party.
Just from that first party, man. There was so much that happened. So much.
So much. There was a lot that happened, but it was a lot of fun.
Oh, man.
But that's going to do it for us here at That Hashtag Show. Thanks for watching. Up next, later today, we got Doctor Who. Daniel's going to be on that with Brianna. You guys are going to be talking about what's going on. How's Doctor Who been so far?
Oh, pretty good. Actually, there's a lot of speculation concerning, the Master and a few other plot points, which will kind of be addressed in this episode coming up.
And later on tonight, we have Power Rangers After Dark. We have Hashtag After Dark. You've been on that.
Yes, I have. It was fun.
Man.
There, we're going to be doing that. We're going to be talking about our big story that we dropped about Dark
Boom,
and
boom,
so much
boom.
more. And I'm just going to tease this a little bit. Is we are going to be dropping another big story on Monday, so just get ready for that. But that's going to do it for us. Daniel, where can we find you on the social medias?
The real J, the real J _Rome. Anywhere on social media except for Facebook, take away the underscore.
And he's, like I said, Doctor Who. He has coming up. And Daryl, where can we find you?
You guys can find me on all the social medias. Daryl J. Delphin, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can also find me on the Anime Super Chat every Thursday. Actually, let me plug this really quick. If you share around that we're going to be on Thursday, we're going to be giving out a Black Butler poster that we got on the cruise from Funimation, and I'll probably give out some Sonic Forces stuff that we got from E3. A lot of really cool anime swag that we're gonna give away.
I'll throw in my Black Butler gloves to you guys.
Yeah, we're just gonna have a lot of giveaways, so be sure to share around so you can enter to win.
Yes, and they just started up a new Facebook page. And
Oh yes,
Instagram.
let me plug that as well. If you guys like Anime Show, THS Anime on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. So yeah, follow that, share that around, and I'll see you guys on Thursday.
Yes, and Abigail Parker did super chat us before she left. Can't wait, or can't leave you guys without a super chat for me. Hashtag Team Joe, Abigail. She's like the team mom here. She's like the best. But thank you guys so much for watching. You can catch me on the newsfeed on Monday. Also have Morphin Monday coming up. It's back. Special guest, Peter Sodarso. First exclusive interview with a Ninja Steel Ranger. So check that out.
Woo!
But we will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. And hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with everything trending
In geek pop culture. Yeah, Dragon Sword! Yeah.